settled on the ones for everywhere?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Looks like Johnny Mahan, Paul will occupy that guard spot, and unless one of them separates themselves from the other. Right now, we are comfortable with a rotation of that guard spot.
What about kicker?
Kicker's still a work in progress, but it's starting to get some separation. I won't say which way, but we're down to 2, which there's enough reps in practice to get 2 guys ready. So we're not behind the 8 ball in that respect. But we know who's going to kick off. Andy Stroud will kick off, and Ben Lennon, of course, will punt and be the holder. We've got our snappers in place, so it's just a matter of finding the place kicker.
Who are your kickoff return guys? Maybe punt or kickoff?
Covey.
Still keeping him there?
Yeah, he's all conference, absolutely.
Is Bam Olaseni still in the acclimation period?
Yes, he's in getting through all the red tape period. You know, the NC2A has to sort it out. It's not an easy situation. He's coming from London, England, and had a couple different high schools, and so it's not an easy thing to determine. So it's in the process of being determined right now.
You said you would need to go through a cycle of playing BYU in the opener to determine how you liked it, but has having that opponent when it is affected camp in any way?
Not really, not at all. We've just gone through our normal routine and procedure and process, and we started working on our opening opponent a couple days ago, which is about the same time frame that we would start regardless of who we played. Yeah.
A few years ago, you had talked about this secondary being probably one of the best you've ever had. I mean, now that it's kind of that you've got seniors, juniors there in those positions, how do you feel that secondary has kind of lived up to that?
Well, hopefully they'll live up to all the expectations, and they're so far, if you can base it off what you've seen in practice, which in my experience you play pretty much like you practice, and so there's a lot of correlation there. They're making a lot of plays in practice, and they're working hard. It's a good cohesive unit. And Julian Blackman back at the free safety spot has been a huge plus for us. Jalen Johnson is, he's as good as there is in the country at his spot. Javelin Guidry is one of the best slot corners in the country as well. So those are proven commodities. Terrell Burgess will get his first opportunity to be a starter. He's played a lot of football for us over the last 3 years, but now he'll be a full-time guy. And then Tariq Lewis is getting his opportunity over there. But Josh Nurse is waging a battle with him over there at that corner opposite Jalen. So if they play how they did, if they play in games how they have been in practice, we should be okay.
You mentioned the other day being impressed with a lot of the young offensive linemen, and you also had a lot of volume at that position in recruiting.
We have more scholarship O-linemen right now than I think at any time since I've been the head coach. We also have some quality walk-ons, and the vast majority of these linemen are in the freshman and sophomore class, underclassmen.
How are the linebackers looking?
Looking good, but still thin. We have 5 that we think are up to speed enough to help us out. Of course, the 2 starters, and then Trenton Carlson, he is a starter in the 43 package, but 4-2 nickel being our base, and then Sione Lund, and then Andrew Mata'afa. So those are the 5 that are getting the majority of the reps, and we're trying to find that 6th guy.
A lot of the players on the offensive side of the ball say they feel really comfortable in this offense. They feel maybe a little more loose this year. Are you getting that sense?
Well, I know they seem to really have embraced what's going on and are excited about it. And I think that's 80% of the battle is that if you embrace it and your mindset is right, then usually good things will follow. But the truth will be and the final analysis, it'll be what happens in games. So we'll see.
Is there? I mean, not anything against Troy Taylor, but I mean, is it nice to have somebody that's had that experience, kind of has the structure, knows what to do in a fall camp?
Well, there's more than one way to move the ball, and Andy is more of a pro-style element to his attack with some under center stuff, so it's just the key is maximizing your personnel and not trying to force a square peg in a round hole. You can't just say, hey, here's what we do. Now you players got to do it. And Andy is a master of playing to the strengths of his personnel and finding roles for even if it's just a couple plays a game for all the resources that he has available to him.
Is there any one wide receiver that's taken off during camp that maybe you didn't expect?
Not really. I think they're all doing well, and that's not just to say there's not one that has kind of taken the lead isn't a bad thing, because all of them are playing at a high level, and so we've got 6, 7, 8 guys that we feel really good about, and but no one has really separated themselves and become the guy.
How much work in terms of live work and scrimmages do you think you need going forward?
Not a lot with the ones, and not much more. Tomorrow will be the last extensive live work for the 2s and 3s. They may get a small dose at some point next week. That's debatable, but with the game being 12 days out, 13 days out, it's getting close. So we got to start to really focus on getting them all healthy and getting their legs back.
So Monday starts game preparation?
Yeah, well, we've already started on opponent game plan and preparation and looking at the schematics of the opponent a couple of days ago. But Monday is the first day of in-season routine.
Yeah.
We get out of camp mode and we go to in-season mode.
And with that in mind, did you learn anything last year with that 4-game still retain your redshirt rule that you would apply this season?
Absolutely, and I think we handled it exactly correct last year. I mean, we got the 4 games out of every player that we were had pegged to be in that mode as far as not burning the year of eligibility but getting playing experience. And so but our MO is if a guy can help us win in any way, shape, or form, he's going to play in all 12 games. We're not going to just have a guy sitting around that can help us win just because we want to preserve the year. So that's the first criteria. Can the guy help us win? Secondly, if it's a guy that we think is going to be really good down the road, and we want to get him in 4 games and not go over that threshold, that's the next category. Then the next category is guys are going to redshirt no matter what and probably won't get in the game. So there's three different categories there.
Do you expect him to award any more scholarships this fall?
We might. Yeah, we ordered one last night. Ali Niamatololo got one last night. Very deserving. Great team guy. Has been here for a couple of years and done nothing but work his tail off and do everything he can do to help the football team. And great to see him get. And the players were really pretty fired up about Ali getting awarded. So good for him.